What's up, my folks? I hope everyone is doing great today. We're going to talk about the cat mill a little bit. Um, Before we get onto that, man, I want to tell everybody thank you. Thank you, all you guys, man. I really appreciate every one of you guys. All the phone calls, the comments and all that. And you guys are right. That's not what this channel's about. Some of you guys, you're absolutely right. And it was just something I felt like I had to address before I did lose my temper. Ended up making a road trip and getting in trouble, so I had to address it. And we definitely tried not to get on that track, but some things just got to be addressed. But anyway, let's talk about the cat mill. There's quite a few guys that are putting these up right now. That's awesome. I mean, that's a real improvement to a dog yard. If you can have a cat mill, man, you can really keep your dogs right. If you can spend time out there and even 20 minutes a day on it, it's just, oh man, it just makes a difference in your dogs. But I told you guys that I was going to do a video about that, and so I'm going to do that. And now this is actually sharing some real secrets here. It took a long time to figure out how to make a mill that would work and function for a long time and not start slopping and all that shit. And it just was a lot to learn. I mean, my first cat mill I built was a house trailer, a mobile home axle. I cut in half, actually cut the pole and all. I mean, the axle and the everything. Cut it all in half, stuck that bitch in the ground, put some bags of concrete around it, and put some 2-inch well pipe on it. And that was my first mill, so come a long way in the designs. But anyway, get you a 3,500 pound trailer, spindle and axle. Get you a piece of good square tubing. 4-inch is more in the realm of things. Weld your axle square onto that tubing. Now weld it good square, center everything up. On the bottom of your tubing, you want to cut. Now the length of your tube and all that, however deep you want it, that's your business. But you need to go in the ground a good bit with it. A good bit. I mean, and at the bottom of it, weld you some rebar cage on it. Just weld you some rebar there and cage it off. Okay, put a bigger one at the bottom. Dig your hole nice and bell shit, nice and square, where you can set the whole pole in there and then fill that son of a bitch with concrete and let it set. Square everything up, level it up, make sure everything's right, and let that thing set. And let it set overnight. Let it set the next day. Don't fool with it. Just let it take in, because you want this cage to be real secure in this concrete. You don't want any shift in your pole or any movement. Okay, that's the key. Now this mill, you can take the top off of it, but you're always going to have the pole in the ground. Right? This isn't a portable mill. Now once you get that done, now this mill, this is for somebody that's got a Metabo blade, a welder, and a little bit of skill. It is not nothing hard to make. Okay, when I build my mills, I milled my plate out all at once and did it made it myself. But you guys, I'm going to show you how you can make it with a hub. Get a wheel, get a wheel, a rim. Get as deep as you can get it that fits onto that axle, so you have room to get your hands underneath that plate. Get a nice piece of square plate. Don't be chintzy with this plate, man. This plate right here is going to it's going to, what you're building off of. Center it all up, weld it all the way on the bottom, weld it all the way across. Okay, get it all centered up and situated. And once you got it, once you're at that point, then you can come on with your up thing. Now your center pipe, okay, we'll come in here. Your center pipe that's going across it. The longer you make this piece, the better. Okay. Everybody wants a mini mill, but the longer you have this piece, the better. 10 foot would only be 5 foot from the center coming out. I would do probably a 16-foot piece across your center pipe. All right, weld that all the way. Don't just tack it here and there. Weld that son of a bitch on there. Okay, you want it really strong. Drill you some holes in it and then weld your nuts on it, so you can make so you can screw down. Get you a piece of all thread, cut it, put you some flat bar on it. Use about 3/4 inch all thread though, so you can really put some pressure down on it. Y'all understand what I'm talking about, right? Like drill the hole, weld a nut on that hole so you can tighten down the all thread on it and push down on your thing. All right. on the center of your pipe right here, you're going to come straight up, then run your crossbar. I usually put one about 8 foot right there. It's only going to be 4 foot from center and 4 foot from center. So I run my crossbar right there, run a 45, brace up, and then you'll put one down. Okay, and on top of your crossbar on this side, you want to put a nut big enough for your cable to go through, a nut big enough for your cable to go through, and a nut big enough for your cable to go through. Once you're at that point, okay, it's going to kind of look like that. All right, you're going to have a bar going up. Go up pretty high with it. 2 foot don't hurt. And you're going to have your bar going across, nut, nut, nut. You weld it up here, and then down here you're going to weld it like that. So that's kind of what it's going to look like, okay? And you're going to have your everything ready for it. Once you're all that point in this course, make sure everything's squared up, and then you should be able to hit this thing right here and just hit it one time, and it'll spin like crazy. It should spin really easy and really good at this point. Now, once you get to this point, you're going to have your ends. On your end pieces, what I do is I come out. You want to have a pretty good piece. If you have a 16 foot here, you're 8 foot from the center right here, okay? Now, if you put a 12 foot bar on your 12 foot stick off of your end. Now, this piece is up to you. If you want your dog to be running on an 8 foot bar, that's it. 5 foot, 6 foot's plenty. 5 foot's enough. And then I do the same thing, weld a nut, put me a little all thread right there where I can screw in, get you another bar that'll fit in there, and you can put your bait, if it's cowhide or whatever, and you can make it shorter, longer, whatever. Weld your end, nut in the center. Same on your counterweight size, same thing. Nut, right? Your pin's right there, so you can slide it in and out however long you want it. Once you get all that done, you're almost there. So once this would be like a top view, okay? Like if you're looking down on it, you're going to have a cable coming across your top to that bar right there, coming across where you put your little nut right there, and onto there. Same here, same going around. So it's going to kind of look like that. Run your cable, mount it to here, put you a loop in it, put you a ratchet strap, a loop, your cable, mount it there, and then tighten them together on all 3 of them. And when you're done, it'll kind of have that look, the way with the up pull on them, but it'll be on all sides. And it'll take all that twist that people are saying about. It'll stop a lot of that. It'll be a real firm mill, you know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I hope that helps you out. I really appreciate you guys. I think we do have the best channel, and we do have the best dog men on here. I mean, some of the best in the world are on this channel, and I appreciate y'all. And now just understand with these mills, okay, you're gonna have to prove you're not. If they don't prove that you are, you got to prove that you ain't. So understand that. And if you're down with all that, this is definitely a great tool. It's a great tool. I got half a mind to build me one. I've been thinking about it. But y'all take care, and y'all keep on bulldogging.